What kind of stunt was that, traversing the marsh? Have to be smarter if you're to survive. As quartermaster, I'll do my best to keep you alive. I can buy what equipment you find, or sell you what others have unearthed before we ship it back to Kingsmarch. If you disappear in the jungle, I'll also be the one to note your death in our logs. You're welcome.
This one, he would not survive the desert.
Hello there. I'm OWWBK. Sorry about Oswald. He can be a bit, rough with the newcomers. But he's really not a bad sort. In any case, we can always use another pair of hands around here. Welcome. This little excursion here represents my lifelong ambition. It's not just about finding treasure. I want to build an entire archaeological society someday. Rayclast has countless layers of history buried beneath it, and I aim to uncover every last bit. I intend to call my group the Reliquarians. A bit ostentatious, but the best things should be. A shame I couldn't have founded it a few decades ago, back when my birthplace Oriath was still a thriving city. Thanks to the Templars, relics from a dozen different cultures found their way to that little island over the centuries, and are now all lost, thanks to the disasters that happened there. So you're looking for a device the Varl intended to use against the Cataclysm? Ah, so that's why you came here. Well, you're on the right trail. The ziggurat on which we stand was rumored to contain a device to save their people. If you want to explore it, you'll have to find a way to drain the city first. It's hard to guess what the device inside the temple might be. I do know that it was commissioned by Queen Etziri's thaumaturge, Doriani himself. The project was given all the resources it needed, and the work was kept secret, even from Etziri. As best I could translate, they claimed using it might mean abandoning all they had built. They seemed to view it as a last resort, a way to save their legacy if all else failed. It's not often I detect fear in Val writings, but they definitely hoped they would never have to use it. By their final days, the Val were a deeply tiered empire based on brutal competition. Those at the top vied with each other through any means necessary, and Doriani was the foremost among these ambitious and immoral men. He was second only to Queen Etziri herself. Exile was the seat of his power, and ancient writings claim he undertook a vast array of strange projects and sordid experiments here. Some glyphs I have seen are too stomach-churning to discuss. How do I even begin to describe the last Queen of the Varl? She left a tremendous mark on history. She was intelligent and capable enough to rule unquestioned over a bloodthirsty empire of volatile nobles, and the people adored her and feared her in equal measure. Varl writings speak of her as the most beautiful woman in the era, but also the most dangerous. She sought eternal life, and she was willing to sacrifice anything to achieve it. The ruins around you are the result of those ambitions. Sometimes, while I'm looting a temple, I remember that everything we find once belonged to a living, breathing person that probably died horribly. That sort of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? I've heard of the beast. Everyone has. If someone is truly trying to raise another, then they must be the grandest of fools. These very ruins around us are the result of an attempt to control such a thing. This is the only way it can end. Oswald's a grim sort, isn't he? He's always injury this, death that. Personally, I've never been hurt while treasure hunting. I actually find it rather easy. He always makes sure we have the proper supplies, and checks his list for everything 4 or 5 times before we make a move. He also invented what I call the Oswald technique. On the rare occasions he personally goes out with us, he throws a rock at absolutely everything before touching it. Every flagstone, every pillar, every statue. You'd be positively amazed at the elaborate traps he sets off, even in places I've walked through already. That hooded fellow over there, he's a friend of yours, I take it? Seems to be one of few words. Oh well, I'm not one to judge the company you choose to keep. Oswald's gonna lose his wits if any more of you show up, though. Something tells me you're the exploring type. We've got that in common. But some places even I steer clear of. I rather enjoy being alive, you see. Still, if you're feeling adventurous, there's fortunes to be made out there in the wilds. I'm especially interested in all things related to the Vaal. For academic reasons, of course. But a bit of treasure never goes amiss. Take your time. Bye.
This woman is curious. I wish to know more of her.
Somewhere in this region there were sophisticated canals and waterways. We might be able to use them to drain this lake. We must hope that the mechanisms are still functioning, despite their age. It is the only way to reverse the drowning of this once thriving city. The first step in our search for the secret knowledge of the Vaal. It is strange to return to this place of my divine youth and see it so aged and forgotten. When I was here, the Vaal were the height of civilization, and the future was bright. They had their problems like any other people, but I thought I could free them from the moral hazards of divinity by removing gods from the equation. While we are here, I would like to discover whether this ruination is my fault, or whether something else happened to them. Time is short. Make haste.
How goes it? The ziggurat beneath us was once the temple of the sun god, one of the oldest built in the city of Exil's religious district. It was in active use for at least 1,000 years, but when the Vaal cataclysm struck, the city flooded, presumably killing everyone inside. Good thing for us, because this lake is the only reason it hasn't been ransacked by other treasure hunters already. One man's mass death is another man's treasure, I suppose. I log everything here, so I can catalogue the thousands of ways to die the jungle offers. If you can, be sure to write some sort of final entry detailing how you die. A death log won't benefit you, of course, but it will certainly benefit me. I don't mean to be overly fatalistic, but the amateurs coming from Kingsmarch are accomplishing nothing but feeding the chimerals. The most I can do, as quartermaster, is ensure they're equipped for exploration. That's where the real profit in treasure hunting is, you see. I don't go out there if I can help it. I'm the unluckiest man alive. Yet, I'm the wealthiest in this camp. You have to be good when you're trading with the Kalgurans, or they'll fleece you. Ah, Kingsmarch. So called by the Kalgurans. They're newcomers to Rayclast. About 20 years now. They're traders by nature. In fact, They've partially funded this very expedition. For some reason, they're very interested in Varl artifacts. We ship most of what we find back to King's March, and they pay handsomely for it. Stay wary.
These treasure hunters are a good bunch. Out here carving their own destiny. How relatable. They've given me tips on dealing with the mosquitoes as well. Not that it's working. I wonder why the King of Kalgur has such an interest in Varl artifacts.
The rich love their idle obsessions. It's not worth the time you'd waste trying to make sense of them.
Quite the extreme to go to for a hobby. I don't know. I get the idea it's likely something pretty odd. Look out for snakes.
Oswin Shipwash. They survived, 98. Stopped to pet a chimeral. Roland Hayton. They survived, 82. Ants. Osman Lakin. They survived, 45. Bitten by a snake on the ankle. Leg swelled up to 3 times the size. Servi attempted to amputate, but baby snakes burst out of the cutting, and we immediately set him ablaze. Should have slit his throat first. Sorry, Osman. Mabel Sal. They survived, unknown. Kept to herself mostly. Vanished at some point. Nobody's sure.
You're the one who waded to the undead in the marsh, eh? Truly you need a guide. Luck's on your side today, friend. I am such a guide. Maybe I can help you survive. Not all tribes in this region are so friendly. You would be wise to listen to me on the dangers of the jungle. Yes, you are lucky indeed. Apus is my grandson. Can you believe that? A young spry thing like me. A grandmother. Don't be answering that. Apus inherited my son's rowdy spirit. Maybe it's a family curse. We have always been the type to do what we shouldn't, like helping outsiders such as yourself. One day, he'll be a great man, just like his father. Until then, I try to keep him safe.
She knows how to part fools from their coin. Clever.
Everything here can kill you. A snake you can't see, a strange plant, even one of your own. Survival in the jungle depends upon learning the lessons from those who died before you. That's the wisdom of my tribe. And since these treasure hunters pay me so well, I don't mind sharing. Ha ha! Any place you want to know about, come to me with questions, and I will tell you what I know. The jungle ruins are full of deadly creatures, you know. Quadrillas can tear a man apart in seconds, but at least you can hear them coming. The real danger? The apes that drop down from above. Life is plenty here, thriving for generations. But death always comes for the careless.
What have you learned?
Hey. Servi has been a fantastic ally to us here. Her people have lived in the vicinity of Exile for countless generations, so she's been able to show us all the most interesting Varl ruins. The accessible ruins were all looted long ago, of course, but the lake around us has protected most of this city since the end of the Varl Empire. Until next time.
Still alive. What do you need? Don't drink the water.